releases that have entered my awareness in one way or another. The first from Portland, Oregon's Drouth. Now, it feels a little tough for me to give what some people who know lots of black might call an accurate description, okay? Because, like I've said before, my knowledge of black metal is pretty limited, but I suppose Drouth might be one way it's evolved past second wave stuff I liked in the late 90s growing up. Like, you know, a bunch of the obvious names. The album's called The Teeth of Time, out next month on Eternal Warfare. They put out stuff by like MANIA, and honestly that's the only band I know on that label. But just to give a quick idea, it kind of reminded me of Blood Nord during its blacker moments, and if it is truly a cross between black and death like their promo described, I got Portal vibes from some of those riffs. It's like that kind of like, you know, that like that kind of death. And vocally, totally different genre, but the singer sounds a lot like Jake Bannon on When Forever Comes Crashing, Converge. I was surprised though, because just looking at the cover and the part of the country they're from, I thought it was going to be way more chaotic, but it's actually a lot more. I hate using this word because I always feel like it implies mellow death, for which this is surely not, but yeah, it's more melodic. I also thought it was going to be dissonant like Spectral voice, but dare I say it's more riffy? It's fucking, I don't know, atmospheric secondarily, recognizable and traditional like Enslaved or AKHLYS first, there for somebody more recent. And yeah, speaking of Bloodhoss, I really like their slower parts, but that doesn't surprise me because I love a ton of slow bands as it is. But I could very easily see this as being a favorite for some people. I mean, it's certainly melodic black metal the way some love it, and the songs do feel real meaningful, like they seem, and I'd like to hope, the musicians are really proud of it, because, I don't know, I would be. Ultimately, this was way more pleasant than I expected, and I don't even mean that in a way where it's like, you know, happy sounding or something, because it ain't, but it's aggressive, fast when it needs to be, stormy. I love the production, like it's not at all super clean, but it's also not like vintage demo either. It's crusty the way something like Studio VARUKERS or Disrupt was, random punk, or if you want to stay black, Order and Chaos, Mayhem, or Demon War 1349, like purposely muddier, some rockstar examples. So yeah, dude, if you like black stuff that could have been from either 2001 or now in 25, and you don't require that the artists wear corpse paint, which I know that's a legit requisite for some, hey, you do you, then I'd absolutely recommend Drouth's latest album, and for all I know, their back catalog too, to any music head who's down with this kind of sound. You might not be. You might think it's shit like I secretly do when it comes to a lot of stuff outside of traditional or doom or thrash or hardcore, but I was hugely and pleasantly surprised. Okay, now to do a complete night into day 180, let me just start by telling you how I fell into this. I'm out jogging the other day, right? Just some light exercise on a nice sunny day, and I'm listening to the Buttering album, PUNGENT Stench, and I remembered, like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to check out that band Austin's doing press for, but I couldn't remember what they were called, so I opened my messages and I'm like, that's right, okay, Beast in Black, I've heard of them before. Dude, all I'm gonna say is, I did not know music like this existed. I honestly didn't. Like, I suppose I've heard stuff maybe mildly related to it, certain types of Euro power metal, say like, I don't know, Amberian Dawn or Visions of Atlantis or something, and I guess this reveals how truly short my brain is within contemporary heavy metal, but this is a whole other level to me. At its root, perhaps it's related to power metal, but this is like video game metal, and as a matter of fact, I guess this track is in some way promotional for a new Diablo release. I don't know, I haven't played video games since PS2, but I'm listening, and suddenly I just felt like worldly. Like, I've never been to Japan before, or Vienna, or Amsterdam. I've been to NYC a whole bunch, but like, suddenly it was as if I was in the crowd for a Kumite, or one of those tomato throwing festivals. And dude, this is fun as hell music, man. Energy that can only be gotten from like, actually yeah, there's a good way to parallel it. People talk about stoner and doom as being drug fueled, like namely with marijuana. This, however, if Beast in Black were being paired with some kind of illicit substances, it'd be nothing less than some kind of never been stepped on coke or ecstasy, because I have not heard something as fun as this, maybe since Dance with the Dead at 2 a.m. in Las Vegas a few years ago, after everybody was done watching CARCASS and Mayhem and being a badass all day. Please don't get me wrong, it's not like this is dance music or something. It's what I'm now learning might be considered, say, state-of-the-art, fully realized Euro heavy metal, power metal. But if you like Paul Herzog produced movie soundtrack stuff like the songs he did in Bloodsport or Kickboxer, or even Vince DiCola Rocky soundtrack stuff, to which I do, I don't know many people that don't. But Beast in Black is like a few decades into the future from all that, and it's awesome. It's like if Tony Robbins were a metal band, he'd be Beast in Black. And like, if you love the first two Lost Horizon albums, Gamma Ray, Nocturnal Rites, maybe even EDGUY, I would imagine you'd also be very down with Beast in Black. So like, unless you only like Pungent, Stench, or Blood Duster or something, or you're more just concerned about, you know, some kind of image, which, whatever dude, I ain't judging nobody, but if you don't give a shit about trying to be a badass, this band rules for that. This makes me feel like when Seth Putnam started talking about how big of a BUCKCHERRY fan he was. Like, nobody ever would have called that, but like, I fucking like BUCKCHERRY. So yeah, dude, both myself and my Nike Pegasuses are extremely happy about finding Beast in Black. Oh, and the latest track, the single for the Diablo game, is called Enter the Behelit or Behelit or something. And I checked out their other albums too, and yeah, just as awesome. I gotta stop being so selective when it comes to modern bands, like quite literally judging books by their covers or logos or something. And Beast tells me I'm way out of the loop on a lot of shit, because judging by the views of just this video, Nuclear Blast probably makes bank on this band, so. Alright, going back down to the basement for something truly interesting. This may not only be the cleanest produced rock and gore grind I've ever heard, MinceCore, but along with it, the most well-filmed video for a band like this, possibly that exists to date. It's from Haggus, and it's a double feature, so 2 singles in 1 video. The 2 songs being called Rotting Off and Do You Love MinceCore? Oh, and something else hilarious. Yeah, so you know how most of the time, the only way you're ever gonna know the lyrics to anything that sounds like this is if you're like a goddamn psychic or something? Well, that's not necessary for the Mince video, because the lyrics are displayed as they're sung. Like, it's not a lyric video because there's a lot of theme and footage and stuff. It's more kind of like how Garden of Eden was for Guns N' Roses. Like, they're just there for you at the bottom. But the songs are absolutely catchy and decipherable and don't just sound like static. Like, there's riffs you can make out the same way you'd hear them in a Slayer song or something. And dude, you know something I realized about this? Like, the effort that went into the video and the sound production, there's no reason why this kind of stuff couldn't get the same amount of attention as any other genre that gets serious plays on, like, I don't know, where do kids see videos from bands these days that they might not know? Like TikTok or something? So subsequently, that's where popularity gets birthed on a mass scale. But yeah, the fact that this is all indie but yet isn't anywhere nearly as known as mainstream stuff tells me that it's purposely being held down by power players in music. Sad. But other than that, Maniacs, that's all I got. I am done. So if you did like this video, cool, maybe you can give it a thumbs up. Or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then Tom ARAYA your ass right into that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew. But until then, stay crazy, my friends.